what's up? Welcome back to episode 181 of the Alpha Girl Confidence Podcast. I'm your host, Shay Haddo. And in today's episode, we're going to go over something that I get questions about all the time from parents, from players, from girls in my coaching program. And that question is, how can I stay more motivated? How can I get more motivated when I really don't want to do my homework or go train on my own or go do sprints or whatever it is, right? Motivation is something that a lot of people are struggling with, especially in today's day and age where we have so many distractions. So in today's episode, we're going to get right into it. We're going to go through 3 really tangible steps that you need to take if you want to get and stay motivated. So get ready to take some notes. All right. So number 1, the most important thing that you must do before you do anything else is you must get really clear on your purpose. You must get clear on your why. So here's an example. If you are trying to train more on your own and you're just like, oh, I don't feel like doing it, so I'm not going to do it. You're not going to do it if you don't have a purpose. So you have to get really clear and go deep on what is my purpose? Like, why is this important to me? So ask yourself a series of these questions. Okay. Why is training on my own important to me? Answer, so that I can get more playing time. Now we're going to get deeper. Why do you want more playing time? So that I can get looked at by colleges. Why do you want to get looked at by colleges? So that I can play for a good university. Why do I want to play for a good university, right? So you keep asking yourself, why? And you can use this for anything. If it's, oh, I want to be motivated to do my homework, or I want to be motivated to be able to do more push-ups, like whatever that thing is, you have to have a deep purpose. The deeper your purpose is, the more it's going to hold up in times of, oh my gosh, I don't want to do this. So think of it this way. I love analogies. So here's my analogy for this one, right? So imagine a tree. All right, we got this tree. It's a tall tree, but its roots are not very deep. Like, it's got a root system that's very, very shallow. If there's a windstorm or a hurricane and there's a tree with shallow roots, what is going to happen? The tree is going to get blown down pretty easily because it doesn't have a very deep root system, right? Now let's take another tree that has a really, really deep root system, has a deep root system, or it even has a root system like redwoods that connect with other trees. So it's got a really deep, strong root system, right? What's going to happen to that tree in a storm or a hurricane, right? Maybe a couple branches break off, but the tree itself is not going to topple over because it's got a deep root system. So what the heck does the root systems have to do with the motivation? Well, think of the root system as your purpose. The deeper your purpose, the deeper your root system, the easier it'll be to stay up in face of hard times. Easier it'll be to stay motivated when you're like, I really don't want to do this. So the deeper your purpose is, the more you're going to stick to that thing. So that's number 1. All right. And actually, when you're done with this episode, don't just listen to it and be like, okay, now it's time to go do something else. Like, if you really want to be motivated to do something, go through these steps, write them down in your journal. All right. Number two is going to be your least favorite, is eliminate distractions. We all have a million distractions going on our life. Number 1 is our phone, right? So we could say, and I've learned this from not only like working with tons of girls, but from myself, that if I'm trying to be motivated to do something and I keep looking at my phone, or my phone keeps going off, what is it going to do? I'm not going to be motivated anymore because I'm going to be stuck looking at my phone, or the thing I'm doing is going to take, 3 hours instead of taking 30 minutes because I'm distracted. So eliminating distractions, or at least putting these barriers around the distractions so that it doesn't stop you from doing the thing that you need to do, right? So let's actually get real and tangible on this. If you're trying to be motivated to do your homework, this is actually a challenge. Every month we have a challenge in the Alpha Girl Collective, which is my coaching program. And this month's challenge is, when you're doing your homework, you have to put your phone away, whether you turn it off or you go put it in the closet somewhere, your bag somewhere. Like, you can't have your phone when you're doing your homework. So that's our challenge. So that's an example of what you can do to eliminate distractions, especially with homework, right? Like, you have so many distractions. You have friends texting you, you have a freaking TikTok notification, whatever it is. But eliminating the distractions will help you to stay more focused and stop going every which way. So eliminate distractions. Another way you can do that if we're talking about the phone again, is to set limits on your phone, set limits on certain apps, stuff like that. Or other distractions could be the TV, could be Netflix, could be food. Like there's plenty of other distractions out there, but try to eliminate them, put some safeguards around. You have to protect your energy. And by eliminating distractions, you're protecting your energy so you can stay focused on the things that matter. All right. Number 3. Okay. Number 3 is to chunk it down into small steps. Chunk it down into small steps. What does chunk it down means? It means instead of saying, I have to study for an hour, it's, hey, I'm going to study for 10 minutes, distraction free. I'm going to just study for 10 minutes. Well, what happens when you study for 10 minutes? You're like, oh, 10 minutes went by fast. I'm going to go for 10 more minutes. I'm going to go for 10 more minutes, right? Let's use the example of working out on your own. Let's say it's off season or you just need to get in shape and you're like, oh my gosh, my coach told me I need to go run 10 sprints at the park. Oh, that sounds like so much, right? So instead of being like, oh, I don't want to go run 10 sprints, that sounds way too hard. Just tell yourself, all right, I'm just literally going to go to the park and I'm going to run 1 sprint. I'm going to go run 1 sprint. And I guarantee you, when you get to the park, you put your shoes on, you run 1 sprint, you're probably not just going to leave after that 1 sprint. You're probably going to be like, okay, I did 1, like I'm going to do 1 more and I'm going to do 1 more and I'm going to do 1 more. And before you know it, you got to 10 because you were focused on 1 at a time, not focused on 10 at a time. So chunking it down into small, manageable steps is going to be an absolute game changer. Right. So you can do it time wise, like for homework or juggling. Let's say instead of going out and juggling for 20 minutes, I'm just going to go do 5 minutes. Right. Let's do 5 minutes, see what happens. For sprints, for cleaning your room. So parents, you'll thank me for this one. Let's say you got to clean your room and you have a pile of clothes. You got a pile of clothes in your room, like I used to have. And you're like, oh my gosh, I have to put away all this stuff. Instead of doing that, how about you just go, I'm just going to put away like this 1 corner, or I'm just going to start putting away just my shirts, right? So you can take any task or anything that you need to do or need to be motivated to do, and you can chunk it down into these small steps so that instead of it looking like you have to climb Mount Everest, all you got to do is climb the little bunny hill. Right. And that is going to be huge with motivation, because I think one of the number one ways why people aren't motivated, the number one reasons why people aren't motivated is because they're overwhelmed with the things they have to do. So by chunking it down, we break it down into these small, manageable steps that you can do. And when you do one, you're going to do another and you're going to feel really, really great about it. So those are the 3 things. Number 1, find your purpose, find your why. Build the deep root system. Number 2, eliminate distractions. Put your phone away, put timers on, turn off the TV, whatever it is. And number 3 is break that task down into small chunks that are manageable and a lot easier to swallow. So I hope this episode was helpful for you. If it was, do me a favor, share it with a friend. And if you haven't left us a review yet, please leave us a review. The more reviews we get, the more girls and parents we can help. So please take 1 minute, scroll to the bottom if you're on Apple, and leave us a review if this episode and if this podcast is helpful for you. And I will see you on the next episode. Take care.